What's up and welcome to my channel. My name is Evan Backlit, and in this channel we talk about everything about Denver, Colorado, about living here and really what the lifestyle is like here. So if you are considering moving to Denver, Colorado, you have come to the right place. So in this video today, I'm going to tell you guys about why I moved from downtown Denver to the neighborhood Sloan's Lake. Really not that far from downtown Denver, but the lifestyle is very different. So first, I also want to mention I moved from New York City to Denver, Colorado. So click the link in the description or somewhere on the screen here to check out that video for all of the reasons why I decided to move from New York to Denver. Before we get going, I am a real estate agent here in the beautiful Denver, Colorado. So if you or anyone that you know are looking to make a move to Denver or make a move within Denver, feel free to give me a call. You can find my contact information in the description below. So don't feel scared to reach out. All right, let's get right into it. So first, I want to start on the reason why I moved to downtown Denver in the first place. So as I mentioned, I moved from New York City to Denver, and one thing I was really scared of was missing out on things when I did move here. I understood that moving from a large city like New York, where you really have everything that you could ever want at your fingertips, to also a large city, but obviously quite a bit significantly smaller here in Denver, I didn't want to feel like I was missing out. I wanted to go to all the sports events. I wanted to see all the restaurants. I really wanted to experience all of the nightlife and really everything that downtown Denver had to offer. So I didn't want to necessarily give up my life in New York or like the things that I really enjoyed doing when moving over to Denver here. So that's the main reason why I decided to move to downtown Denver. So I lived right in Union Station, so really the heart of Denver. So we would go to the baseball games in the evenings. We would go to a lot of the Broncos games, but also we had so many restaurants around us to explore and really enjoy. That was really one of the things that I loved the most about living in downtown, was just how accessible everything really was. I had a car, or actually didn't have a car for the first 6 months, so I was just walking around everywhere. I worked downtown, so I would walk to work, I would walk back, and then I would simply jump on a scooter or a bike to get anywhere else if it was a little bit further away, like Lehigh or Rhino. But I truly did stay in the city. And I loved it. And I did have friends that went to the mountains, so I just carpooled with them. So I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything there. So living in downtown Denver was a great experience, but then COVID happened and I felt like a lot of things changed. The whole energy, the whole environment downtown kind of felt like a ghost town. It was really quiet. I would walk my dog and I wouldn't really see anyone else on the streets. Obviously, we had to be social distancing, so really the reason why I was living in Denver kind of got taken away from me towards the end there. So that's when I decided it was time for me to move a little bit further out. So enter Sloan's Lake. As you can imagine, while I was living downtown, I was always exploring different neighborhoods that was pretty close by. For example, I would always go to Lehigh to go to Bonte and kind of enjoy that whole life, as well as Sunnyside, Berkeley, and Sloan's Lake was a neighborhood that really stood out to me. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to move there right after downtown. Sloan's Lake to me felt like it was a very close neighborhood to downtown. I live about, I would say 3-4 blocks away from Empire Field. So kind of a little bit closer towards Federal, between Federal and pretty much the lake. So I'm really smack dab in the middle. I can still get on my bike and get to downtown in under 15 minutes or so. So you're still super close to everything that downtown has. If we're talking about driving, you're between 5 to 10 minutes, depending on where in downtown you're trying to go. So you're still close to all of the good things that downtown has, but you're kind of tucked away a little bit. That was something that was really attractive to me, was because here in Sloan's Lake, I really got a much more neighborhood feel, right? Like the streets are much calmer. I'm getting to know a lot of the neighbors, a lot of townhouses, so it is still pretty congested, but it's not everyone in an apartment building and you're having a hard time seeing people on the streets or, getting to know people in your apartment building. I see people hanging out outside in the front yard. I get to just you know, walk my dog, go up and say hi, have a little quick chat, get to know them, and then I'll see them around the lake and I get to say hi to them there too. It really does curate that neighborhood feel without sacrificing, hey, I'm still living in the city and I get access to the best food, restaurants, and sports teams and things like that. Another large factor why I decided to move to Sloan's Lake was because of the lake and the park. I am a pretty avid runner myself. I love to work out and just be outside, and having access to that lake is just so fantastic. The trail around the lake, I think if you do the walking, it's like 2.6 miles. And if you do the larger loop, kind of like the trail loop, I think that's just exactly 3 miles or maybe just slightly lower. So during a lunchtime, I see a lot of people, and even after work too, a lot of people just get out of their houses just to enjoy that loop. You see people run around there once, twice, depending on, you know, obviously their goals and their fitness activity levels, but even recent new moms and families pushing strollers and walking their dogs, just kind of taking a loop around the lake. It's so nice to see the community really enjoy that lake, and we all really care about it. So you don't necessarily see much trash or much damage to the lake at all. A few other things that's amazing about that lake is on the weekends, it gets very active. You see so many friend groups, so many community groups enjoying the lake together. They set up volleyball nets, they set up little picnics, and truly everyone's out there just to, you know, capture that Colorado sun. But that also makes it really easy if you're looking to move from New York, Florida, California, really wherever from a different city to Denver. It makes it really easy just to kind of filtrate and say hi to everyone and get to know some people in the neighborhood. I lived in Seattle for a whole year before moving to New York and then before moving to Denver, and I felt like that was something that was really lacking in Seattle. It was really hard to make friends because people already had their friend group and they weren't really welcoming new people as much. As in here in Denver, it's the complete opposite. Majority of the people that you're gonna meet, they moved here from somewhere, so those friend groups are really open to getting to know you, welcoming you to the neighborhood and community, so you already automatically start feeling integrated and feel like that you're starting to capture some friends and everything. It's truly nice and such a stark difference from Seattle. Another thing that I really liked about Sloan's Lake was we still do have restaurants and some bars in the neighborhood here. So obviously not as much as downtown Denver. That's definitely the center hub for everything like that. But even in Lohi, there's a little pocket of some areas that people like to hang out, coffee shops, and like to eat. Same up in Berkeley on Tennyson Street, and that's no difference here in Sloan's Lake. So just on the south side of the lake, you have places like Odell Breweries, you have Patio, you have Sloan's Lake Tap and Burger, you have a Starbucks, and you have other smaller coffee shops, nail salons, hairdressers. So you really do have a little centralized neighborhood downtown area, I guess you can call it. But that is nice because when you do have those friends in the neighborhood, it's super easy just to say, hey, let's jump down to Patio this Friday, just enjoy a beer and have some appetizers for happy hour. And everyone's usually down to do that. It's a short walk for everyone, and a lot of the things that you want to do is centralized in that area. So it's also very easy to bump into people that you've met before to really strengthen that relationship and get to know more of the neighborhood. The last thing I'm going to mention about Sloan's Lake and the reason why I decided to move from downtown to here was it's still very convenient when looking at commuting. I go to the mountains a lot. I was born in Norway and I love to ski. So majority of the weekends you'll find me out there skiing. That is probably my biggest favorite hobby in the whole entire world. And it's super easy to get access to the mountains from here because we have West 6. So you can get on Federal, a few blocks down, you can pull onto West 6 and that goes directly out to I-70, merge onto I-70, and then you're headed straight to the mountains. So it really doesn't add much time to your commute to the mountains. compared to, you know, downtown. I'm pretty sure we took the same route in downtown, just through I-25 to West 6, but you're super close to that. You're super close to I-25 if you're trying to go further down. So in Sloan's Lake here, even if you're working a little further out, say in Littleton, DTC, or even up in Westminster, but you still want to live close to downtown and have a neighborhood feel, it really is the best mix of everything, because you can really get to everywhere that you want in the city quite fast, as well as the mountains, and explore the whole entire state. All right, so that's my story. That's the reason why I moved from downtown Denver to Sloan's Lake. Just to quickly recap, I didn't want to give up the downtown life with the food and nightlife and sports and everything, but I wanted a bit more neighborhood feel with really easy commute and a great lake within it. If you're looking to move to Denver, or if you're looking to move in and out of Denver, reach out to me. I would love to help you in any way possible, answer any of your questions, and just see how I can be a resource for you. Subscribe to see more videos. I'll probably take you guys on a little walking tour around the lake, and we can check out some of the restaurants in Sloan's Lake here, and we'll explore some different areas too. So hit the like, comment, and subscribe, just so you can see more of the amazing stuff the city has to offer. See you guys soon.